lifers. We've picked the question that is, I don't know, it's a little bit bigger than we anticipated, but we thought because it's such a huge loaded question, there's absolutely no way we can approach it in a really, really serious philosophical way, because up until this point, that's the way that philosophers and everybody's been approaching the question in such a deep way that we need to kind of look at it a little bit lightheartedly. So we kind of created a little sign and a little bit of bribery for free lollipops. We got some sweeties and we went into the city centre in Dundee on a Saturday afternoon, kind of in the prime of where it was just absolutely all demographics, all ages, all ranges, and we kind of created an interesting kind of contrast with our signs. So we were trying to observe what people's reactions were to the free lollipops and how many people stopped and chatted to us and were kind of taken in, as opposed to how many people wanted to talk to us with a meaning of life sign. So we kind of started chatting to people and asking their opinions and sort of taking photos of them with their post-it note of what they thought the meaning of life was. We've created a little...
There's a bunch of people, I mean, like, we spoke to pretty much anyone who would talk to us. It was quite difficult. One of the things we encountered was some people thought we were a cult. And sometimes people would stop to talk to us, think we were some religious group, and tell us to go away, and we'd have to try and convince them. But, I don't know, some of the insights we get from it, well, for me anyway, I kind of expected the people who were most able to talk would be the older people, because I thought, well, people that have experienced their entire life had a lot of time to think about it, but they were the least happy to talk to us about the whole situation. There was more people our age, that's strange, we were still trying to get their head around it, so I don't know, it kind of...
We managed to speak to young people, old people, families with children, homeless people, people from the army, locals to Dundee and Fife in the area, and students, and also we got Robin to kind of flag back a bit.
Yeah, I kind of took a step back so I could actually see what was happening, and I was kind of keeping track of all the interactions as well. So there was like 250 odd people actually walked past and looked at the sign, but like they didn't interact any further. About 50 odd people looked at the sign, carried on, took a second kind of look back. We asked in total about 150 people, and we got just over 100 responses.
So all the negative data you were collecting was also really interesting, because we were able to sort of take kind of information from the people that didn't want to talk to us and didn't want to engage just as much as the people that did, and we sort of have some preliminary conclusions where we're starting to do persona generations now of the kind of characters, and when we do a second post-it brainstorm we hope to kind of subcategorise things and come up with ideas and situations and scenarios. But one of the most interesting insights was originally we thought this might be some sort of digital platform for discussion where people can log on and have, in a really kind of unbiased, unjudgmental environment, have a discussion and open up a dialogue about the meaning of life. But a lot of the particularly young people that we talk to that don't actually use computers or the internet said they would much prefer to go for a coffee or go for a pint at the pub and actually just have a physical conversation with human beings about a subject like this. So we now think maybe it might be an event or an actual kind of physical meet-up on a weekly or monthly basis where people can get involved. So that's kind of our stages at the moment.
I think it's really nice that you managed to challenge our preconceptions of how people would react initially, and also the fact that you managed to speak to so many people in a shorter space of time and use bribery as well. Has anybody got feedback for these guys and give them a help?
I like what you said about your assumption that older people would talk to you because they've had more, I think you said they've had more time to think about their life. I'm self-referencing here a lot, but I think there's something here about young people coming and talking to you who maybe, who needs to think about their life to come up with an answer? You know, do you have to do all that quality thinking? She says her that starts talking and I'm talking. So it's good, you're onto something there.
I just love the sign. I think the contrast between free lollipops and the meaning of life is quite amazing.
It says a lot about people's kind of, you know,
Yeah.
And it's
what
good
they
watching
think
the
the meaning of life
expressions
is.
when they come up to the free lollipops and they twist it round.
Because it's a very light-hearted, you know, have a wee free lolly and just ask you a question, we're going to pop in a post-it and what's the meaning of life? And it keeps it quite humorous because you can't ask such a loaded question in such a short period of time in the city centre and expect a big long philosophical answer.
Towards the end, when we were getting more lighthearted about it as well, I think that's when we actually got to a point where we were starting to get crowded by people as well. Like they were kind of coming towards us, and it was just because it seemed like it was quite a jovial activity that we were doing as well. So I think that brought people's attention.
I think towards the end, we ran out of lollipops at one point, but people were still answering the question, which was pretty unexpected.
There was one guy that actually walked past and then he heard that there was free lollies because he's seen this side of the side. And then he heard that there's free lollies, so he stopped and came back and then he answered. So bribery works.
Yeah. Great.
Good stuff.
Thanks very much.